Most people don't realize how much their unhealed self is actually running their business. Before I could build a brand that was true to myself, I really had to take a look at myself internally, and I had to go to therapy to figure myself out. And when I say therapy has been the best investment after giving my life to Christ, has been the best investment in myself. And not only has it made me feel better, it's allowed me to live better, lead better, and earn a whole lot more now on my terms and build a six-figure business. So I'm here today to talk to you about the 7 things that therapy has done for me and how it's transformed my business. Number 1, therapy allowed me to clear out the emotional noise that was going on in my life and allow me to hear the Lord clearly. Now, for a lot of us, we've done things in our past that we might not necessarily be proud of, or things that have happened to us that has caused us pain. And for a lot of us, we harbor the pain or the shame or the guilt around with us. And with that, we're not functioning like a child of God. We're acting in fear, we're acting in disbelief, we're hiding out, not trying to fulfill our full destiny that God has called us to be. So in therapy, I was able to talk through the things that I wasn't proud that I had done in the past, and also things that people had done to me that had affected me. And when I was able to lay that out on the table and rationalize it and understand that these things have happened, they don't define me, you can move forward, God still loves me, and you can take authority of who God has called you to be, that was when everything changed for me. I was able to clear out that emotional noise. And now I'm not making decisions based on fear, because now I know I'm the head and not the tail. I don't need to be ridden with guilt or shame. Why? Because Jesus died on the cross for me, and he already carried that shame and guilt. Jesus knew my sins before I was even before I knew I was going to do them. God already knew I was going to do them, and he died for me. So if he loves me so much and can love me to the point where he died for me, I don't need to be carrying around that shame that's going to hold me back at all in life. So I think for me, when I was able to actually unpack all of that and put that to the side, park it, and not let it become my identity, I was able to walk forward in the identity that God has given me. So that's number 1. I cleared out the emotional noise, and I was able to hear the voice of God clearly. Number 2, therapy helped me to accept myself completely. And the reason why I say this is because before I was about to quit my job, I went to my therapist and I was like, child therapist, sister girl, help me, because I know that what I'm doing now, investment banking, is not my calling. I'm so sad, I'm so depressed, I'm not feeling fulfilled, and I know that there's a greater calling on me that's more aligned to my passions and my skill set and what God is calling me to. But I still felt scared to make that move and make that jump. And it was crazy because in therapy, when I'm speaking to my counselor and she's like, why are you nervous? The reasons why I was nervous, not because I couldn't do it or I couldn't fulfill the call that God had over my life. I was scared of what other people would say, what my parents would say, what my colleagues would say, what my friends would say. Would I be a failure? Like, I was speaking from a place of fear. I was speaking on what would other people think about me. But it was only once I got to the point where I accepted myself, what God has called me to be, and understood that even if I'm going against what society deems as going against the grain, going against the status quo, what God has called me to do, that's what I'm going to be graced to do. So I think when I was in therapy, going through all those sessions made me accept myself wholeheartedly, that even if I'm doing something that other people might look at or deem as weird, because I accept myself, I didn't really care what other people had to say about me. As long as me and God were good, I ain't caring about the next man. So therapy allowed me to accept myself completely. 3, therapy helped me to stop people pleasing. I think when I was able to go through therapy, before that, I was such a people pleaser. I'm saying yes to doing things for people at the expense of myself all the time, because I felt like, wow, if I don't say yes to these people, they're not gonna like me, and if they don't like me, then I'm gonna have nobody. But I think therapy helped me to stand, again, as I mentioned, it touches on the previous point, just stand in my authentic self. It's okay to say no to people. Boundaries aren't because you hate somebody else, but it's to protect you. You don't need to let everybody in or do things at the expense of yourself. If you can say no to somebody and they aren't happy with that, then that's telling of the dynamic of your friendship and how much that person respects you. And I think that's really been really good for me in business, because when I'm negotiating all the time and wanting to get new contracts and deals, instead of me feeling like I have to say yes to please the landlord to get a deal over the line, or yes to an investor, I need to actually step back and say, does this actually work for me? Is this going to help me and the bigger picture of this business? And if it's no, I can absolutely go back and say, no, this isn't working for me. Therapy has taught me that if a relationship, a dynamic, a business deal is not win-win and it doesn't help the other person and also benefit me at the same time, I need to be okay to walk away. And I think that's a skill that I never really exercised before, but now I feel comfortable walking away from situations that do not please me, do not benefit me. And that's been really freeing, I can't even lie. So that is number 3. Number 4, therapy has taught me how to communicate. The beauty about therapy is when you go there, you'll come and present a situation to your therapist, but your therapist is able to help you see things from other people's perspective. So situation A might happen, but your therapist will draw your attention to other people's perspectives, other people's feelings, other people's rationale or reasons potentially for doing something that you might not have really realized at that time, because you're kind of focused on how you felt in that situation. And I think what therapy has done for me, especially when it comes to communicating in business deals and negotiation, it's always allowed me to be thinking about, okay, what does this other person want? What do they need? How do they think about this situation? What's going to be the best for them? What are their desires or what are their goals? And when I'm able to then come to negotiate with them, I've already considered half of the things that they want, and I'm able to put that into a negotiation, and we're able to come to more win-win, beneficial, mutually beneficial agreements. So I would say number 4, therapy has taught me how to communicate like a boss. Number 5, therapy taught me that my worth isn't based on the title. I'm not gonna lie, being an investment banker, that was a flex. Like when I go out and I'm like, yo, I'm a banker, like there was a flex to it, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of prestige was tied to it. So when I decided to take a step back and not be a banker, I'm not gonna lie, it took me so long to actually tell certain people, especially obviously my close friends knew, but people outside my circle, to tell them that I'm not a banker, because people are looking at me crazy. Long story short, people are looking at me crazy like, oh, you left big old investment banking on the salary that you want to do entrepreneurship, to do business. Do you know that's a risk? And what I had to do is stop tying my worth to my title, my labels, how much I earn, the people that I socialize and hang around with. And it was so freeing to be like, yes, I'm not a banker anymore, but I'm actually pursuing purpose. And maybe to you it might not seem as flashy or as great, but me living in purpose has been the best thing I could do for myself, my mental, my happiness. Like genuinely, this has been the best decision, and being able to detach myself from the titles that I had has been so freeing. Number 6, I learned to trust myself again. I touched on this in the first point, but I think when we come from a past of maybe making mistakes and not doing things quite right, you might feel like, oh my gosh, like, can I even trust myself? So in my case, I was a sixth form, well, I got kicked out of sixth form technically, and I decided to drop out of uni technically. So for me, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, I've made these mistakes in the past that have caused these things to happen, me being kicked out, me having to drop out. Like, do I trust myself that if I take a step back from investment banking, that this is going to be it? But I think through therapy and talking things through and understanding your whys, it's helped me trust myself, my gut, and knowing that my gut isn't actually my gut, the gut is the Holy Spirit. And if I'm yielded to the Lord and yielded to Him and communicating with Him and asking Him to guide my path, that even if I do not necessarily get things right, God will always make things work out for my good, provided that I'm yielded to Him and I'm trusting Him in the process. And number 6 is that I'm able to now trust myself. Number 7, it deepened my relationship with God. And I think this is the most poignant and important point. I think being able to talk through my hang-ups, my issues, the things I wasn't happy about, has allowed me to see myself how God sees me. It shows me that God loves me so much. He cares about me. He's always for me. He's working things out for my good. Even when I thought that I was down and out, God was there with a plan. God provides destiny helpers. He helps you in ways that you couldn't even imagine. He's able to do exceedingly and abundantly more than you can ask or think. I think therapy is such a reflective tool, and you're able to look back over your life and see how far the good Lord has brought you. So for me, therapy allowed me to just realize that I'm nothing without God. He's helped me and brought me such a mighty long way, and I will continue to love and trust in him. But therapy just gave me that space to understand that I'm amazing, not in a braggadocious way, but I'm amazing because I am the Lord's child. I'm an heir to everything that he's promised me in his word, and I can step out in such confidence and authority knowing that he has me in the palm of his hands. And I think with that being said, because I've been able to step into my authentic self, I've been able to get better clarity in terms of who God has called me to be and what he wants for my life. And I think that's been such a game changer. And genuinely, I wouldn't be the woman that I am, first of all, had I not given my life to Christ, but secondly, had I not gone through the hard emotional work of therapy. But as I say, the best investment of my life, because now I'm able to say that I'm actually operating in purpose, living without fear of what other people think of me, and knowing that I'm always going to be all right because I'm God's child. So that's all from me, guys. These are the 7 tips or 7 things that therapy has helped me do. And also those things have helped me transform my business. If you guys are looking for a therapist, I will tag my therapist down here. And if you are looking for a therapist, I promise you she is so amazing. She's truly been such a blessing and an angel in my life, and I can't recommend her highly. But I also recommend the BACP, I think it's BACP, the BACP website, where there's a directory of therapists on there, and you can speak to them and find a therapist that is good for you. Obviously, BetterHelp are popping up all the time, so BetterHelp would also be a great source of therapists if you want to find one. So yeah, signing out, guys, and I hope this helped, and I hope if you're needing therapy, you go find a therapist and work through some stuff. But yeah, speak to you guys later. Take care. Bye.